Okay, so we're recording. All right. On Tuesday, November 10th at 6 p.m., the Recreation Commission will hold a virtual meeting pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general law, chapter 30A, section 18, and the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Westborough Recreation Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with the right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website at www.town.westborough.ma.us. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen, watch the meeting may do so in the following manner. A recording of the meeting will be posted on westboroughrec.com. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Westborough Recreation website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. And I lost everybody. Okay. So, hang on, Beth is just texting me. I can't, oh, Beth is not coming. Oh, and okay, so Beth is not coming, but Brian will be here. So we can wait to approve the minutes until Brian gets here. And we can just move into the next agenda item, which is a program update. So Adam, I'll let you talk in a minute. I will just kind of say, I think we went over last meeting that we're doing as much outside as we can. Still waiting to hear from basketball. I had touched base with Johanna today to see if she had heard anything about school basketball. And she was hoping to hear within the next 7 days or so. We are hosting a townwide turkey scavenger hunt. I don't know if you've seen the emails come out or anything on Facebook, but we posted a clue, and then there are 7 other clues around town to lead you to where the turkey is. I'm not going to tell you where it is. Public meeting. But Roach Brothers was really nice and donated 16 gift cards.
Awesome.
10 $10 gift cards and 6 $25 gift cards. So we'll pass them out to the winners. We'll have to see how many people do it. If there's too many, we'll do kind of a lottery style, but if only 16 people enter, then everyone will get something. One family has already completed it and we heard good results. So that's that. Oh, the other thing, the Holiday Stroll. So we typically partner with the Rotary Club and as of last year, the Spirit Committee. And there's a meeting this Thursday, but informally, I'm getting some feedback that people are feeling very uncomfortable about it, about doing anything. We had kind of proposed the idea of maybe doing a standing parade up at the state hospital where the vehicles would be stationed around the state hospital and people could drive through to see the lights. But people felt that that would almost still be too risky given the current guidelines. So more to come on that, but it doesn't look like we'll be doing anything in person for the holidays. The Rotary is still going to light up the tree, and they're thinking maybe doing something, with Westborough TV, like a virtual thing or something, but nothing's been determined. And Brian's coming. So Adam, I don't know if you have anything else to add about maybe.
Wait, Jen, they think staying in your car and driving through state hospital is too risky?
Yeah, and I basically said that, and they had said, again, informally, we're going to meet again Thursday, but that the people that have their cars lit up that are outside, volunteers that would be needed to help direct traffic, like they felt like when you got down to it, there would be too many people being able to be grouped together, and it could be end up being a high risk event. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but I was kind of outnumbered in the conversation I was having. So, Adam, I don't know if we talked about skiing last time, or if you have anything to add.
I mean, yeah, the only big update is ski club was up in the air last meeting, but good news, we met with, well, I emailed the superintendent Amber and the principal at the middle school, and we are going to make it happen. It'll be a lot smaller compared to years past. We usually have about 80 kids. We're going to have about 27 this year. And obviously, of course, going through all the COVID guidelines and protocols on the bus and stuff like that. So we will be doing that this year. I'm excited because a lot of parents have already, it's almost full already, which is good. Other than that, tennis in the parks finished up. It was good. Weather kind of was against us for a little bit. We got it done, and we're doing a quick clinic. This happened this week and next week. And I'm working with one of our vendors who does a lot of our outdoor programming in the summer, one that really helped us this summer with outdoor programming, Fin and Feather, to hopefully try to do some outdoor winter-esque activities like snowshoeing. I don't have any updates on what actually is going to happen, but I've been back and forth with him, and hopefully we'll have some outlines of programs soon. So stay tuned.
That sounds great. Hey, Jane, can I ask you a quick question?
Yep.
Over the programs we've had so far, have we had any incidences where anyone got any COVID or anything?
No.
Perfect. Yeah, good. But that says something, right? I mean, this is good. We're able to do these programs and no one's getting the virus from it. So
yeah. And even Adam and I, we were talking to, and I've talked to some other towns about like summer and that, I mean, unless things take a drastic turn, I definitely think we'll be able to run some sort of summer because now we kind of know, like the kids, we know kids are good with their masks. Like I just did a quick basketball clinic tonight and all the kids kept their masks on. They know to stay away from each other. We have kids bring all their own equipment. I mean, obviously to summer camp, we're not going to have kids bring, crayons and stuff, but it just, we know so much more now, and people are so much more used to like the masks. Even in schools, they're social distancing. They know to stay 6 feet away. So I think that even, we'll be able to kind of press forward. It'll just be a matter of if we can get any kind of inside space this winter to do basketball inside.
Yeah.
And until then, we'll just keep rolling outside until we can't.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And I meant it, and I should have said, hi, Brian. Andrew Bradley, he had come to one of our meetings way before COVID, but he is on the finance committee and he is our liaison to them. So he is on this call. He just wanted to get back in the routine of attending our meetings and just being here to be a support or a resource for the town. Andrew, anything else to add? I don't know if that was a great introduction or reintroduction.
Thank you for the reminder introduction. There is money you're trying to bring to the CapEx committee too, and I think that's another committee I'm a part of. So it's really just about keeping as well informed about what you guys are doing, so I can represent for you guys there as well.
Awesome.
That's great. Thank you, Andrew.
All right, so moving on, facilities. We had just today actually a request from a group of residents who typically rent indoor space somewhere, they didn't say where, to play kind of pickup soccer. And they were hoping to rent and they were willing to pay. It sounded like money was not, they were used to paying at wherever they were playing inside. So they knew all about insurance and paying. That did not seem to be an issue. But they want to play pickup soccer at Haskell, and we're wondering about turning the lights on in the outfield. It's funny, when Adam was on vacation, I had to teach tennis. A group of people showed up at Haskell around 7 o'clock, and they were using the excess light from the tennis court to play like almost like a half-court soccer game. And I just went over and I introduced myself, and they were all really nice. They're like, we're just trying to be as resourceful as we can. They all had masks on. They seemed like they were responsible adults just trying to get outside. So then fast forward today, they called and I asked if they were the same group, and they said yes. So I said, I have a commission meeting tonight and that I would bring it up. They were thinking a couple of like 2 to 3 hours a week for about 5 weeks, and then see what the winter looks like. And then if it's going well and they can keep going, then, we would re-up it. But so I was thinking of charging them $500 for 2 to 3 hours a week. That's around $50 or $35 an hour. And going from there. But I know that this is sort of a we've never done anything like this before, so I wanted to bring it to you guys to see what you thought. I did bring up the residency issue. The person that asked is a resident, and he was very forthcoming. He said that there would be some out-of-towners. He didn't know the ratio. I did ask him, and he's like, oh, I'll have to see who's committed and who wants to do it. And then he would get back to me, because I did say that we did have the residency requirement of 75% Westborough residents. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts about that.
I think
It
if
would
they,
be
meet-
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Bill.
I was gonna say, if they meet the criteria, I think anything we can do to get people outside and have recreation, I'm all for it. But, and what sounds like we're not gonna lose money, we're gonna make some money.
Right.
And if they can meet all of our criteria, I'm all for it.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm all
May I-
for it. Oops, sorry.
Please go ahead.
I'm all for it too, Jen. The only concerns I have is getting the lights on and off. I know it can kind of be a pain. Colleen knows now. And you got to do the whole key thing. I don't know if there's any way we could put like some type of timer on that where, like we know that they're going to be down there Tuesday night, like Earl can go down there and be like, it's coming on at 6, it's going off at 9:30. That's when you get the lights, and they automatically come on and off, so people don't have their hands in those electrical boxes and all that stuff. I don't know if that makes sense. I know I'm pretty sure they do. That's what they do over at Dean Park.
I like that idea too. Keep them out of the electrical stuff.
Because I did bring that up to them. I explained that the lights were not like the tennis court lights that just come on automatically, and that, for men's softball, they have a key, and that it would be a matter of either giving somebody a key or getting them on and off. So that did come up as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know the town's getting ready to hire a new electrician. Maybe it's something we can bring up with him once he gets on board. But I just think it might be a safer and better way to do that instead of having, 50 people going in and out of that thing and accidentally like shutting off the tennis courts, which is what happened the other night.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh, who did that?
The gate to get in, which is a lock that we have on a lot of things. I think that's a 493, isn't it, Brian, on that gate?
Yeah.
And so there's 2 keys that somebody has to have, and I don't like the idea of,
Yeah.
I agree with Brian. If we could get some kind of a time on those lights, and we're gonna have an electrician on the 30th, but I'm sure that's not gonna be a top priority job. Maybe
No,
Jim
I
and
don't think so.
we could look at it and see what we think about. I just don't think, I think a time has got to be added to that, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it would have to be. I don't think it's anything you can get done this year. I mean, you might be able to, but it's something in the future. Like, like I said, I just happened to be in there and I was like, ew, it's probably not great to have a bunch of different people that don't get what's going on in here and having something get fouled up or somebody get hurt.
Yeah.
And I also don't know if it's something that you can do like remote, like where Jen can control the lights from her phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have that in all the irrigation systems now. Mike's got them all on his phone, so we can run them when he wants to,
I'm
It's
sure
all
there's.
Wi-Fi, and but I'm sure we could probably do something with that too,
Yep.
if we're gonna do something. That's pretty dark ages technology that's down there now.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like the big like ka-chunk switch almost.
Yeah. But it does cost a considerable amount of money to run the lights too,
Right. So that's why I came up with the 500. Guess we could look at the electric bill, maybe
Yeah.
Stephen tomorrow or Thursday, a little more in in the summer when men's softball's using it to see, because that's kind of a sidebar. Something that we had to do is part of one of Christie's goals from the selectmen was to get expense comps from other towns, and so we went and just saw what other towns were charging for fields fees. And one of Hudson, actually, they take the monthly electric bill and then just split it between whoever, almost like roommates, whoever would use the field that month, they split it. It's
Yep.
always worked for them. It's kind of probably has some challenges, but that's what they do. So we could even just say
Did they
that,
also
hey,
charge them for field use?
yeah, no, that's their only fields fee. There's no fields fee, but they get charged for the lights. So we could even do that for them too. Maybe it's just, hey, this is your fee, you pay the light bill. Depending on what it is. But so you don't think that this isn't something that would get done this year? So I feel like that's more of the issue, that they wouldn't even be able to start using it until there was some kind of timer on there.
Who's gonna go down babysit?
Right. And it's
Yeah,
too complicated for somebody to just be handed a key.
I don't think it's too complicated, but I think it's something that you have to go down there and show them what they need to do. You can't just hand them a set of keys and be like, have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and even if it's, I mean, I don't know how many nights they're doing it. Are they just talking about one night a week?
He was like, maybe, 1 to 2 nights a week. He said
I
2
mean,
to 3 hours a week, so I don't really know what that really means. He kind of was just kind of feeling it out to see if it'd even be a possibility.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even mind going down there every once in a while and turn them on and off for them. But I mean, at the same time, I'm not going down 3 nights a week.
No. Okay, so let me get more of a sense of how many days.
Well, Tuesday night wouldn't probably be a problem, because if
Yeah,
if you were here or something.
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on, Tuesday night or Stephen or whatever, they
Yeah.
work, somebody's working,
right.
Tuesday night wouldn't be a problem.
That's a good thought. Maybe I could put, because they seemed flexible. They just wanted to get outside. Like I said, they were really funny that using that. They were up against the fence, like using whatever light they could from the tennis court. Andrew, okay.
Also, if you bring up like one person down there, like you're in charge of the lights, this is what you need to do to get in and out of it. Be careful, blah, blah, blah type deal.
Well, that's sort of what I was thinking, that this guy that had called, he would be sort of the representative, and we would be trusting him with this key to handle turning the lights on and off. I don't know him, but I mean, he seems like a reasonable guy. He was easy to talk to. I feel like I could trust him, but again, this is based on a 15-minute phone conversation.
No, I think that's fine until we can do something with the timers.
Okay. How does everyone else feel about giving somebody potentially a key?
I think if we have precedent already that men's softball and others are able to do that, I don't see how we cannot, again, as long as they meet the criteria that we already have. If they meet that, and if we can train somebody and we trust them, I think we do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Brian that we should have something on the record that we would like the electrician to look at it and see if we can update how people access it and use it.
Okay.
So this is Andrew. Do we have folks sign any terms of use documentation? So, for example, if they damaged the field, if they pulled pieces out of the electrical circuit out, if they did something to leave it other than as is condition, that they could be liable?
Yep, they sign, everyone that uses our fields in a formal way, like Little League, youth soccer, this group, they sign a fields permit, which basically outlines exactly what you just said. It shows the rules of the facility, like no open fires, no drinking, and then there's a lot of like kind of small wording, like for stuff, like you not holding the town liable if you get hurt, if you damage anything, you're responsible, all that stuff. So we do have.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything, Earl? Okay. So do we want to take a vote, or as long as they can meet the criteria, maybe we could take a vote? If they meet the criteria, then you guys are fine with them being out there? Or
It sounds like it's in the policy.
Yeah, okay. So we'll follow policy. Okay. Awesome. So next is the golf course. I just wanted to update you on where we are with that. So at a prior meeting, I mentioned, or we've talked about how the current golf pro is retiring at the end of the year. So the golf course will now fall under the recreations portfolio and management. We held interviews for a golf manager last week. We had a lot of good candidates. We ended up interviewing 5 of them, and we're having 2 come back for second interviews at the end of this week. So Thursday, we're interviewing the last 2 candidates, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to make an offer to one of them after those interviews. I can't say too much about them because it's all confidential, but both of them have a lot of experience. They're both pros, like PGA pros. They seem up for the challenge. I liked both of them a lot. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. I'll try to answer. Like I said, the interview process is supposed to be confidential, so I can't give names or anything like that, but.
So Jen, can you remind me, well, I have a few questions. Number
Yeah.
one, are they local by any chance? Are they Westborough or are they surrounding town?
Well, one of them is more local than the other.
Okay.
So no, none of them, one of them lived in Westborough for a short time and moved. And the other one does not live here. He's a little bit further away.
Okay. And so obviously the commute's not a problem for them getting here and all that stuff.
No,
All right, the second question I have is, will they be responsible for the merchandising as well, or is that from rec also?
so we, so they won't, are you a golfer, Bill? I feel like that's a very good question because it's funny that you say that because we had somebody, the superintendent from Groton came and sat on the interview panel as kind of an outside resource. And he made a point to tell us that we have to be clear with candidates that the town will own the golf shop and not the pro.
Yeah,
That can sometimes be an incentive for pros that they get the proceeds from the golf shop.
That's great.
That's just why I kind of laughed when you said that, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was a thing. But no, yeah, the town is going to take over all the revenue will come to the town, including the pro shop and any proceeds from there.
and who's gonna be the buyer to get the merchandise and all that stuff? I'm just curious.
So we have discussed informally with the assistant town manager and the operating committee, the country club operating committee, about really scaling back the amount of merchandise we sell. We're gonna sell, golf balls, tees, small things like that. But as far as, clubs and even like apparel, that's gonna get pared way, way back because now that it's a town operation, it's like we're not in the retail business. That's sort of how it was put to me. So, and it's like spending money on this stuff that we don't know is even gonna sell.
Yeah.
Does it seem worth it?
Okay.
So that will be a conversation down the road.
Yeah, if it's okay, I'd like to be part of that conversation if that's okay. I think it might be an opportunity to revisit.
So, and I should note too, that once we have a manager hired, it's hard now because we have the rec commission, the rec side, and then there's the golf operating committee, which is very similar to this board. And so there's been a lot of talks of how do we make these two boards work together? And it hasn't been set in stone yet, but some ideas have been to maybe have a couple of operating committee members join this board as golf liaisons. So eventually we're all going to be we will be all working together on this. It's just right now feels like two different islands. That the operating committee is still the operating committee, which they run the golf course technically, but that will change. I just know for this budget cycle, we talked about, I don't know, I forget how much we allocated for merchandise, but there's been kind of informal conversations about paring back some of the merchandise. But I'll make sure, Bill, that you're involved if we're not already kind of one big committee when the next time that comes up.
Yeah, I would like that. I actually have, my uncle is actually pretty much, or used to be, he's retired now, but very, very involved with golf and merchandising, all that stuff. So I think I might be able to provide some insight.
Like, you think it's worth it to sell like gear and stuff?
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
My wife does a lot of the buying for Juniper
Oh, awesome.
Country Club. She goes with Dudley Dowling to the golf expo in Boston every year and helps out there and works that for the 5 days or whatever that goes. I don't know if it'll go this year or whatever, but she's bought a lot of the apparel over there and been involved in that too.
That's great. Yeah, see, it's like, well, anyway, I won't go down this path, but I would like to be part of that conversation. I think it's good.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions, comments about the golf course?
And then it's still separate. So Civic would still have, they've leased the opportunity to have the restaurant from the town, right? That's still going to stay that way?
For now, yeah. I don't know when their lease is up, but.
And do they get a right to
22
refuse?
or 23,
Okay.
a long time.
And do they get first right of refusal?
To
Or is it-
renew or?
Yeah, to renew, or does it go up to bid for another?
I'm not sure.
No, that doesn't, it doesn't automatically renew. Definitely not at the price he's got it now.
Okay,
Things are gonna change drastically there as far as them being user-friendly to the golf committee, you know,
Yeah.
to the golf course. I mean, we got a restaurant that we can't use.
yes,
And it doesn't make much sense to have a tournament. When somebody wants to have a tournament, they won't book it with us anymore because they can't eat there. They gotta
Yeah.
leave there, play golf, leave there and go have their food somewhere else. Makes no sense at all.
it
Takes
doesn't.
right out of the-
And nothing against them. They seem to have a good operation. People seem to like it, but it's not, it's so disparate from the actual golf experience in the course. It's such a dichotomy right now, but that's why I was curious.
Yeah, it's very odd. I was up there just yesterday and around lunchtime, and it was beautiful out. Bunch of golfers, and you would think you'd be wanting all of those golfers to be out on the deck having like lunch. It's so bizarre, like how both parties aren't using it to their advantage. Like, play a round of golf, get a free appetizer, buy an appetizer, get so much off a round of golf. Like, this just seems very easy to me, and I don't understand it.
Bill, when that whole happened, when he took that over, he came to the golf committee, our operating committee. I was there at the committee and told us that he's not catering to the golfer at all. He just soon not have anything to do with the golf. Is not interested in that one bit.
And that's how it's coming across.
That
Yeah.
was pretty sad, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's very sad. Very sad.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to be able to get a hot dog on the turn or an egg sandwich in the morning or something, a cup of coffee or something like, you know, and whatever. That's for a different thing. I mean, nothing we can do about it now. Someday down the road, things could.
Yeah, but we should definitely keep that in our on the radar for when things turn in the 2023, I think you said.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So the next.
So this
Oh,
is
yeah,
Andrew
go ahead.
again. If I may just very quickly,
Sure.
you know, because the financing for the golf course comes up, you know, every year, just so you understand what it is we're asking questions about, I think we have questions that come back to fundamentally, obviously, is it making money? And I know they used to have a revolving account that they've pulled down a lot significantly. So the obviously there's the management of the course in terms of making money, but there's also a question of how many people are using it, and the whoever the pro is that takes over it should be ready to provide information, or should be ready to support the rec department with information about inventory management. You know, how many tee times do they have? What's the percentage they're being filled? How many are they being? You know, what's the percentage being filled by residents versus outside players, members versus non-members, et cetera, et cetera. So inventory management is something that comes up as well. Obviously, you know, beyond the is it making money, which is, you know, what FinCom's primary interest is as well. So just want to give you an idea of where we're asking questions, if that's the kind of thing you'd want to press a pro for.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I know that is Jack has done a phenomenal job. This is not to be taken any other way than this is not even doesn't have anything to do with him, but it's time. That is what even the operating committee has said too, about this new person is going to be energetic in you know, marketing and getting new people to the course, and exactly that. So if it's 10 o'clock, or, you know, say there's an open tee time at, I don't know, 1 o'clock, maybe they're putting something on Facebook, hey, come in for a lunchtime special. A lot of the candidates have, you know, laid out plans of like how they've done that at their own course to fill that tee sheet. One of them even said like that they were like a day trader, that they stock that tee sheet so that it is full as much as it can be, and having that data to support it. This is how many, you know, days we were full, this is who's using it. So I think that we're on, or hopefully the person that we hire will be ready to kind of take that on. And I don't know, maybe that it has been done before or whatever, but that's definitely a goal of the operating committee and mine to, you know, this new person should be able to come in, kind of sell time slots, and then be able to provide data on what's filling and what's not, and how to fill gaps that aren't, okay, we're never selling at 3 o'clock. What can we do to get that filled? So the candidates are very enthusiastic and have a lot of good ideas.
It'd be nice if they
Fantastic.
I'm sorry. It'd be nice if they knew a little bit about technology too. I mean, we have such a great course. Mike and the team, they take such a great care of that course. but it'd be nice, instead of having a call to get a tee time, you should be able to go online or use an app to
Oh,
see
we
if
can, the golf now, that's
Yeah,
all
you
set
can.
up.
it is. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the way it
golf
is
now.
now.
Yeah.
It's been that way for over a year,
okay.
which has
good.
helped out immensely. But you
Yeah.
know, the problem here is, and I'm gonna tell you, you gotta remember, this is a municipal course owned by the town. You
Yeah.
really got a lot of restrictions what you can offer people. You know what I mean? You can't just go out and cut prices or do, oh, come at this time and I'll give you a deal for this or
Yeah.
that. It's hard because it's a municipal course. It's not a
Yeah.
private course. So there are a lot of restraints there on what you can do, you know? And
That's true.
like I said, we don't have any food, so we can't offer them a sandwich or anything, which would be nice, you know? But
One of the ideas the candidates had, a couple of them had that I just resonated with me because I am not a golfer and the sport actually intimidates me, is he wasn't filling his like 3:00 slot, say, or, oh, it was lunchtime slots. He wasn't filling them. So he was like, you know what, let's do a 3-hole spat like deal. Come play 3 holes. It's less intimidating. And then he was like, we geared it more toward women or first time golfers who would normally be like, I'm not going out there 9 holes. I don't know what I'm doing. And it really, and I'm like, I would do something like that. That seems way less scary to be like, okay, I can handle 3 holes. I'm not going to screw anything up too much. So I think like things like that definitely came out just even in the interview process. So I think there'll be some creative things happening.
That's great. That's good.
Money. Okay, so that's the golf course. I feel bad that Beth isn't here, but I wanted to share the work that we had done at the master plan level. I am on the open space and recreation subcommittee. And I don't know if maybe we should wait for her for next meeting. I could add this to the next meeting.
I'd wait till the
Yeah.
next meeting and give it to her because she was very adamant about that.
She was.
She needs to be on the ground floor of it.
So if everyone's okay with that, I think we have a meeting scheduled for December 10th. I might just hold off and go through the slides that we had done for the master plan then, just so Beth can see it, because I do feel like she was really the one asking about it last time. So are we fine with kind of skipping that item?
That's fine for me.
Awesome.
And Brian gave the big thumbs up.
Brian's saying yes. Colleen is, I'm going to assume, nodding her head somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have my first Community Preservation Act meeting on Thursday, so I'm sure you'll all be
Oh,
dying to
good.
hear from me after that.
Lucky
Yeah, that's
you.
awesome.
Oh,
I was thinking after, I volunteered to do it, but Brian is really the rookie and should have done it.
Oh, we'll give him the next one. Shake it. Okay, so just quickly then we'll go through the staffing study. I don't know, I had sent it out a while ago. I don't know if anyone had had a chance to look through it, but highlights for us actually really didn't have anything to do with staff so much as more procedural. All stuff I kind of knew, but it's nice to see it laid out in front of me and with some ideas and examples of ways to do some of this stuff. So Stephen and Adam have been working on a lot of this. The first thing is to develop a work plan, an annual calendar that has all of our programs planned out. Typically, we kind of do this every few months. We say, oh, what's coming up? And then we plan it. They are suggesting to have a 12-month calendar laid out of every program that we're going to run, what staff we need, what equipment we need, where we're holding these programs. And so that way we just have a bigger picture of what we're looking at for the year. I think with Frank being here for so many years, and then when I came, I got to work with Frank for 6 months. It's just been a lot of like institutional knowledge that's sort of rolled over. But if we were to all leave, there's nothing really written down in an organized way for someone to pick up and look at and know what to do and when. So that was develop a work plan, a cost recovery model. So Stephen, like at last meeting, he had talked a lot about the accounting changes that he had made. So this is sort of part of that. So we have all of our programs broken out into 7 categories and their cost recovery goals for every category. So for example, a community program, say like the Holiday Stroll, we're going to spend money and lose money on that, but that's okay. We know that and expect that. But a program like summer camp, we want to be able to say that we're, meeting our expenses and maybe making even a little bit more to help supplement something like, say, the beach, which we know always loses money. So having these categories and a plan laid out, it'll just kind of help us see if we're hitting these targets, if what we need to do to improve, if something's performing better than we thought it was. It'll just kind of help us in the long run. And this will all be part of a standard operating procedures manual that we're over the next year we'll have. Again, just really written plans for all of our programs, all of our policies, all of our procedures. I still have to sit down with Earl here because unfortunately he won't be with us forever, but getting on paper exactly what Earl does and having that in there will be instrumental because he does so much, we all know that, but we need the details of what exactly he does. So like I said, Adam and Stephen have been working a lot on this, and I'm gonna sit down with Earl at some point and get working on that piece. And then over the next year, we're all gonna work together to put it together. And once it's put together, maybe we can even bring it to you in phases to kind of get your feedback and input, because I would certainly want that. So I don't know if anyone has any questions or comments on the staffing study, but it was, and if you didn't see it and you need another copy of it, I can send it to you. It's pretty interesting.
I would like to see it, Jen, if you don't mind sending that to me again. And if you could bring that back to us in phases, I think that'd be good for us.
Yeah, so maybe once we have, they outline 3 specific areas, well, 4 with Earl's thing. Develop a work plan, program procedures for all programs, and cost recovery. So maybe when we have those 3 done, we could bring them back.
That sounds
kind of
good.
show you as we go.
Beyond the staffing study, there was also the town master plan. Has that touched you guys at all?
So I was part of that group, and the only thing that came out of that, for not only the thing that came out of that for us was a community center. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking strategic plan, but the master plan that's going on now, Andrew, is that what you're talking about?
Right. Although I think strategic plan is yet another one where we're planning ourselves into a corner here.
I know, that's why I get them mixed up. The strategic plan was a couple of years ago, but the master plan was part of that. And that was the slide that I was going to wait to just show Beth, but I am on the open space and rec subcommittee. And so there is some work going on there. Just quickly, I'm trying to just think off the top of my head so community center is on there, but also a turf field with lights, because I did reach out to some of our youth groups, and I got really good feedback from them, and I didn't realize how many people wanted or felt that we needed a turf field that was lit. I kind of could assume lights, but it was interesting to see how many people said a turf field. So that is still a work in progress. And I think next meeting, I'll go over more in detail of that, because Beth, our member who's not here, was sort of asking about that last meeting.
And do any of the open trails touch what you guys do? And I know you wouldn't be responsible for managing some of the new trails, like the walk around trails and some of those things, but it seems that there might be some overlap with what rec does in terms of being able to provide walking groups or something like that.
Yeah, we don't do have much to do with the trail. Like that's who is it? The Land Trust. Yeah, the Land Trust. I know they've done some stuff, guided tours. Even conservation does a lot of the managing of those trails, because they have fallen to a lot of conservation open space.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not going to get anybody involved where they don't belong. I'm just curious to know if there's overlap. So thank you.
Yeah. So that's all I had. I don't know if any, and then just next meeting is December 10th. If there's anything that you want me to put on the agenda, we can talk about it now. You can let me know in an email, but if there's anything specific you'd ever want to talk, anyone wants to ever talk about, just please let me know. We can put it on an agenda. I know I sort of just kind of take over and give you updates on what's going on, but if there's something you want to discuss or are concerned about, just let me know.
Jen, are we still getting solicitations from people besides the pickup soccer on things that they might be interested in?
No, we haven't. We've actually gotten a lot just of good feedback of what we have been offering. We did, I don't want to be repetitive, but in October we did the virtual Halloween 5K, which people really liked. I think we might do a jingle bell run in December.
Oh,
That was
great.
easy. I mean, that was no work for us. I mean, people just went out and ran, and then the hardest part was going down to the front door and giving people their shirt or medal. We did a couple of weeks of raffles that were fun for people, Halloween raffles. So we've gotten a lot of good feedback for the little things that we're doing.
Good.
So yeah, and that's another part of the staffing study too. Adam has developed a survey, a short survey. We've said this a few times, but I really hope that we can stick to it. Sending a survey after every program and getting feedback, because that will help. That'll be part of our performance measures, like how many programs are we running, filling, but also having satisfied people. So that we'll be starting to do that, but people seem to be thankful for what we've been able to offer.
Yeah, you guys have done a great job.
Yeah, if there's ever any ideas or you hear anything, I talked to Colleen a little bit on the side, and she kind of has, I get a pulse from what's going on from her, from like her friends and stuff. So if you ever hear anything or someone's interested in doing something, reach out. We're here.
Awesome.
All right, so we'll see you December 10th.
It isn't straight. It looks like it's gonna.
Do we need to do the
Oh, hi,
minutes?
Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Jen, do we need to vote on the meeting minutes?
Yep, we do.
Okay.
Brian, we were waiting for you. So we just wanted to vote on the June, July, or I forget, hold on. Sorry. The June, August, and October minutes. So I sent those out, so I don't know if anyone had any questions or anything.
I'm good.
Good, someone can make a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve the June and October or no,
June, August,
August,
and October.
I
June,
second,
August, and October meeting
I second it.
minutes. I have a second.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Brian, aye.
Yes, Colleen Dowd.
Earl, yes.
Awesome. All right, so we'll see everyone December 10th at 6. I'll send a reminder.
That's a Thursday, Jen?
Oh, it shouldn't be. I thought it was a Tuesday.
Oh, maybe I just looked at the calendar wrong.
No.
Yeah, it's the 8th is the Tuesday.
Oh, the 8th. Just kidding. So it's December 8th.
Sounds good.
Number 8.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys then. Thanks so
Have a
much.
good week, everybody.
All right.
Stay safe,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Andrew.
Thanks all.
for listening.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
now.
Is December 8th